So today in Minecraft Skyblock, we're going to be going ahead and setting up some beginner automation here on Cosmic Sky. We're going to make the most basic automation just so we can start getting some island XP while having a alt account running. So then we don't have to farm and play actively as much. Of course, if you are going to purchase anything on the Cosmic Store, make sure to use my creator code. It is quite literally my branding name. I'd very much appreciate it a ton. And one thing I am going to mention is in future automation, you do want to use linked ender chests, which of course do help you make automation on your island across everywhere on your island. But in this video, we're going to be using collection chests and just the basic area with chunks, because that is all you can use until island level 15 when you unlock the linked chests. So right now we do not have access to those as of right now. We are only level 6 and 11%. So I've turned on chunks. I did F3 plus G. We're going to grab out a flight orb, going to activate that, and we're going to see how far we can build out on our island. So we can't expand any further. I think we're gonna build our contraption over here, and then we're gonna make it go all the way down to here with a harvester, I think is the plan. What we are going to need is a lot of hoppers in this video especially, and the way you obtain hoppers is by getting gold from adventures or science. So if we go into the science shop, we can convert all this down into science gold and then science gold scraps, and you can buy hoppers on the first page in the tier 1 shop. So we're going to be buying a lot of these. They cost 32 scraps per one, which is quite expensive, but definitely worth it. And as you can see, we have a ton of science gold to work with. And of course, by the time this video does go up, I am going to be doing a giveaway for this Radiance 3 times loot box bundle. It's going to be in my Discord server. So if you do want to go ahead and enter that, by the time this video is up, it will be just started. So make sure to go enter that in my Discord server. So what we are going to use to make this 10 times faster is enriched nodes. Specifically fuel, because what you do is you craft, I believe, I don't know, it's like a decent amount of nodes in here to make a fuel one. We'll take a test. Okay, so it's 9 of them. You put 9 in a crafting GUI and you get 1 enriched node. I did purchase some off the auction house, so we have a full rotation, which is 30 seconds, so you need 30 nodes for a full respawn time. And we'll set up the fueling here in a bit. I do just want to make the row of where the crops are going to be harvested, which I have moved everything from my PVs into chests, so then we have better organization, which I completely forgot to do since the last video was place down the potatoes on this top layer of the farm here. So we're gonna go ahead and place all these in. I did get the glowberries done, which is really good, so we can do a lot of quests on our island, of course, if we really want to. Even though I've been running adventures more with my set, personally I prefer adventures, but quests are still a really good way if you don't want to fight mobs. So what we're gonna do is keep 48 of these potatoes for the farm we want to build, and the rest will go down here for manual purposes, because we need island XP and we need to get to carrots, and these give the most currently for us. And I also did get crop damage 10 on our hoe, by the way, so now I believe we can one-tap almost the glowberries, but anything below we should be able to do way more damage to. But as you can see, we get a lot of island XP on the scoreboard from just farming glowberries, which is insanely good. It adds up over time, so I gotta be farming this way more than I am currently. As you can see, a full layer got us like 4 to 5%, which is kind of insane. So here's how the farm's gonna work. We're gonna till down this land, and it doesn't actually untill because it works differently on the server. We're gonna put water after this, but for now we don't really need it. So there we go. We got the potatoes in. They'll start growing eventually. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and start putting in the lighting and the water. We might as well. Okay, this should be good enough for just the watering and of course the lighting. Definitely should be good enough. So we're gonna have our auto harvester that I actually obtained off camera when I was streaming. I got it from adventures, and we're gonna be using that for this, so we can get a lot of crops going and harvested. As well, we're probably gonna make a storage system at some point here to pick up the potatoes for money. That is the goal, as well as island XP. So we're gonna have to go into our island upgrades. As you can see, there's a lot of things you can upgrade here. We need to get science upgraded, so we're gonna go ahead and just get the 2 upgrades that we can get. And as you can see, the linked ender chests are at level 15, as well as teleport pads, so we're gonna have to wait on that until then. But now we can go ahead and place in our bots on our island, and we're gonna turn them off just in case it starts running somehow from fuel. And now that I'm thinking about it, we are gonna go ahead and grab some more sea lanterns, and I'll explain why. We're gonna put down a row of hoppers because we're only gonna be using regular fuel for this setup. It's not gonna be any insane kind of fuel. Even though we could try and set up coal, I don't really care too much for coal fuel right now. It's just not that needed since we have the enriched nodes, but it definitely would help. It would prevent us from from having to make a hopper row along here, because what we're gonna do is have this block at the end be broken so the bot will turn around when it's done hitting the end, and then we go ahead, put a hopper facing down, and all these going along here. And we gotta break this hopper as well, because it has to face a different way. So get around 10 more hoppers. I think we only need 9. Or actually, no, we need 1 more, so yeah, we have enough. So the hopper above this will actually pick up the fuel, but it's gonna backlog at this side first, which is the smarter decision. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might even swap this the other way around, and I have a reasoning for it. It's because then it'll get all the fuel first on this side, and we'll have the fuel on this side being generated. Yeah, I think I know how I want this to work. So this side is gonna have the empty part, and then this side will also have an empty part, and this will be where it stops when it refuels. So what I'm going to do is grab out, I think, some stone brick, and we'll just build with that for the time being, and we're gonna have a water stream going to this because it's kind of in a weird position where this is at currently. We're gonna buy a sign here, and we're gonna have water going into this corner, as you can see, and then we're gonna have a bot sitting above here. So we need a mining bot, which I did purchase one for a decent amount of money. We have 2 of them actually. So this is gonna be our mining bot for the fuel for the time being, and this will get us island XP from the fuel as well, so that'll add up too. But as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and place down all the fuel nodes in this area that we have here, of course, and then leave this spot, so then the extra fuel is actually going to be dropping down here into this system. So now we need a collection chest, which is a key part of this design, which we're going to go ahead and place on top. Shift right click on the chest, go into mining, and we look for fuel. There we go. And then we mine a bit of this fuel just to jumpstart this thing, and it should start mining everything else. As you can see, it is now working on its own. And the enriched nodes give 3 items instead of 1 item. That's why you kind of combine these kind of nodes, the fuel specifically. It's just more optimal. But as you can see, it's starting to fill this up, and then eventually the excess will go down into here, and then it's going to run into this system. So what I think I'm going to do is get 1 extra hopper. So we need to go here, boom, and then we're going to move this back 1 block. So we move this hopper over, as you can see, just so we have easy access to the harvester bot while there's crops over here. So it's not difficult to access it at all. And then it's recycling time for how long it takes to fuel. We do need to go ahead and make this the maximum amount, which is 120 cycles, which then it tells you it's 120 seconds. And depending on when you have bot upgrades in there, so you have extra upgrades inside your bots, especially harvesters, it will actually make the cycling time in seconds go down, but the cycling number stay the same. So you'll have to keep an eye on this, especially when you're doing a lot of automation. So basically every 120 seconds, this guy is going to go back and forth, and then it'll collect the loot and harvest them. And I think I'm actually going to cut it in half to 60 seconds because we want it to be able to go back and forth once or twice to be able to harvest these, so there's still new ones growing continuously. And we want to give it time to generate more fuel. As you can see, it's just more optimal to set it up this way. If the fuel cannot keep up, then I am going to put it back to 120. We'll have to see. So last but not least, we're going to set up the collection. We need 1 collection chest, and I think we're going to get a total of 8 chests, so 4 double chests, because I don't think we're going to generate too much potatoes. If we do, I will expand this over time, but for now, it doesn't really matter. We'll grab out some hoppers here with the science, and then I'm going to show a technique that is really useful. We just need 1 more chest in shop, so we'll buy that. You put down the chest first, and then you hold the collection chest and shift right click on the side of the chest to make it double, and then it actually outputs double the amount of items because there's 2 hoppers under this, so it'll go into 2 different sides of the system here, but you have to remember which one is which for the collection so you can access the menu still, because if I right click this, it doesn't do anything, so you gotta make sure you know which one is which. So we're gonna go farming, set this to potatoes, and there we go, we got our collection for this. And now that I'm thinking about it, I am shuffling this over because I did not center this at all. Okay, I have moved it over, it is now centered, perfect. But we're gonna grab a stack of fuel from the system, and we're gonna put it in here and see how much fuel it's using. So it's using quite a bit of fuel every action it's doing, but I think it's gonna be able to keep up. We'll have to just watch it. So from one side to the other, how much is a stack of fuel here? I'm actually kind of curious, but I can't access the bot. I might have to make it so this side also has the same concept so I can access the bot freely. We're gonna go ahead and do that, so I'm gonna have to break this and reset up its recycle time. That is also one thing I forgot to mention. The recycle time always resets when you break a bot, so we're gonna put it back to, I believe it is 60, and then we're gonna grab a stack of fuel and test this out again. And it's seems it's also trying to recycle at this end, which is kind of weird. I don't know why it's doing that. I think it's because it's an endpoint, so I think it's gonna do it on both sides, which is not the end of the world, but it's something I did notice. It used more than half, which is not the worst, and yes, it did harvest potatoes. It harvested 4 of them, so that's why it used way more. So I think it's gonna keep up if I'm not mistaken. So I want to show this off because it is gonna run out of fuel. You can see it ran out of fuel and it's above the hoppers. That is the benefit of the hoppers here. It's to make sure if this ever fills up at some point and this runs out, it's still gonna start up again eventually and then use more fuel and collect more fuel as it's going along, because when it's active running along this row in the middle, it will still pick up fuel above it while doing that, so then you don't have to wait for it to refuel on the end and on the start of the area. It's just really optimal to set it up this way, but super expensive. So I'm gonna come back with an update once this thing starts working, and I will give an update then. So the potatoes are being harvested and there is an overflow of the regular fuel in this setup currently. And another thing I do want to mention is I moved back the gap here 1 extra block so it's not above a hopper. So then when it turns around, it just keeps going back and then refills at the same spot. So it actually does double the work in one go instead of stopping right here like it was before. So as you can see, it would stop there, but now it turns around and just keeps going. And it still gets fueled from the hoppers above, so it works out perfectly. And it's still overflowing on fuel, so if I did want to set up another one of these with more fuel that is just sitting here overflowing, I could do so once I get another harvester bot. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea. And I'm also going to mention this really quickly once again. There is a giveaway in my Discord currently as of the time this video is up, so make sure to join that. That being said, we got our beginner automation setup done. Let's go.